Oh, it's June 1st. First thing to say is bunny bunny or rabbit rabbit. I think it's rabbit rabbit or bunny bunny. First thing the beginning of the month, and it's good luck. I don't know where that came from. I think it came from the Leo King today. But I was just listening to the wind through the poplar tree here. It was so pretty. And then when I film it, it stops. Well, here it's starting up again. There's the sunshine. Here it comes. Isn't that beautiful? It's really such a beautiful noise, like nature's wind chimes are the leaves. You can just listen to that. So majestic. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, if Pangaea was a larger Earth and it split up because it retracted or spit out the moon, then trees would normally be bigger like they are the redwoods. But then the redwoods couldn't survive because it was a smaller Earth, perhaps. And perhaps there was a great flood or a great fire, or both, that created the extinction of a lot of the tall trees. And since there were tall people here, 17-foot tall giants, I would suggest. So that would definitely suggest that the giants were normal sized and everything would have been geared appropriately. But then again, there could have been a lot of radiation because tall people, like the tall tribes in Africa, I'm thinking of the Hutus and Tutus and the Aborigines there, the various cultures that are either tall or small. The reason they're tall is because of radioaction on that particular angle. Just like the sun is very odd here, and a lot of the natives in this area were smaller, but then there were the Iroquois not too far from here that were taller. So maybe it had to do with the genetics of the sun and angles. I'm talking about the angles of incidence and how it affects the DNA and how it would either promote. And maybe that goes back to the ionization of the original atom of the Earth, because the sun spit out an atom from its core, which was perhaps not necessary for the sun, or it was birthing process, like I've been noticing the birthing solaronics of the sun. When I'm taking pictures of the sun, I can tell that there have been some birthing of the sun. Very unusual forms are forming in 3D and 1D, and the great singularity is behind 1D. We can't understand the great singularity. It's osmotic to us. It's within us and without us. Just smell something. So anyway, about the giants and the original Earth, one unity Earth mass. Could happen that also the concave Earth people had something to do with the Bible, which says there was a dome over the Earth of water, and that could have been perhaps a cloud that was a permanent cloud kind of fixture. Now, if you look at the Van Allen belt, there's fire and water, so there would be fire first, like a Van Allen belt is a highly radioactive energy around the belt, or that Van Allen belt could have been captured by ionization. I was listening to this one guy today that I couldn't believe it. It was so interesting, and he was talking about that. I posted on my Facebook, or not Facebook, on Google Plus today, because I can't use Google. I can't use Facebook. It doesn't let me post anything. So I can use Google. It will let me post from the smartphone, but Facebook won't. So I can't download any pictures or anything anymore. Anyway, that was a bone of contention I have, but if Google is a much better system for me to use, because I don't care if anyone reads my stuff, and I'm not in the social. I'm kind of not in the social degree that you have to be chatty all the time. And some people are chatty, but they don't comment on other people's work, and some people do, and I don't know. It gets to be a little mundane at times. You feel it's all one-sided. You're commenting on their work, but they're not commenting on your work. It's a popularity contest a lot of times. Dealing with this social engineering that we've been under for so many years. So, not that I have anything against the body politic, but I do. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's normal. I think it's left over from the eugenicists. Sorry, but it is. We're still in the mindset of this perfection motive of everything has to be perfect or it isn't good, and that kind of concept of judgment and duality thinking, basically group thinking. Duality thinking kind of gets me down. Being cosmically conscious, of course, meaning to allow the idea to flow. The idea is to flow in a continuous manner, and to allow nature to breathe with you rather than breathing against the grain of what you want, what there is, and all this other stuff, the illusionary tactics that we feel we have to fight to survive, which just isn't true. Whether we survive or not, whether we fight or not, is not important. What is important is that we live true to who we are. Because basically, when we put on the mask, that's when the danger occurs. At least in my books, anyway. But because we've been split into so many parts, it's no wonder we all have the schism, the schizophrenic in multiplicity viewpoint. See this prickly plant? It's a Scotch pine. It's not a Scotch pine, it's a Scotch thistle. And it's, you don't want to fall into this. At the farm there were so many of them. They made a fence of these, so that it was totally, you couldn't get in. They grow like 10 feet tall, and you do not want to go near a Scotch thistle. I got in my finger, from yesterday, a glint. I had to take it out. Anyway, here's the sun. When I was doing sun pinching yesterday, I had a great connection with the sun, that I'm actually touching the sun and feeling the sun's spherical nature that it wants to be. The sun is very, well, let's say it's going through birthing process right now. It shoved off its sheath, its skein. It's tried to be three-dimensional for us, but maybe at one time. But now we're getting to see the veil under the sun. The veil under the sun is the great singularity. It was shocking for me to find this out, but studying the sun every day, taking pictures of it, examining the sun with its active sun and its ionization. It's going to be very high UV today. And I told you that yesterday when I showed you the solar ionic pictures. Excuse me. Okay. There you go. Okay, sorry. So the solar ionic pictures were, sometimes I forget about cars going by. Yeah, that's what happens when you're filming. They become very, let's say, continuous. Here's the beautiful sun. See? There you go. That's nice. And we're going to go over here. And we're going to go over here. Okay, good. See that? Beautiful. Yeah, so anyway, I think so, for sure. Now, when you study a little bit about nature, and when you understand that we're all connected in a dynamic way, and in that way, I mean energetically as well. We're trying to study the dynamics of solaronics, the dynamics of energy dynamics as it relates to you personally, and as it relates to you objectively, subjectively and objectively. The difference being, well, Hazel, where do you want to go? You want to go back home or to the beach? I don't know if we'll be able to head to the beach. I'm going to see how long this tape can go on. Maybe I'll monetize. I was thinking of starting up a Patreon because I really have a plan. And the plan for the Solaronics was basically my plan for the Scooter City, which was a community for persons who are physically challenged or mentally challenged to live in harmony with others who have the same difficulty, because I do not believe that people without that difficulty truly, unless they live with persons like for years, do not understand the concept of being physically challenged or mentally challenged. It takes a great deal of strength beyond the human resource that we're given to have to live life and to conquer the physical. That means they're greatly more spiritual, and the Lord says that He always helped the persons who were challenged because their heart is closest to His. Because we have to be like little children, vulnerable, to really get to the place where we're accepting our fate. And a lot of people are in denial of our fate. They try to deny it. They try to overcome it with things or ideas or whatever, and it never works. It hasn't worked, and it never will work. It's a sad case of ego over spirit, which never happens. So just thought I'd bring that up as well. So if someone would like to contribute, I'm going to start up the Patreon page, and hopefully that monies will be channeled into the startup of Scooter City here, or Scooter Village. I do believe that having a community built for the needs of the persons who have physical challenges or mental challenges really helps to incorporate. And also, it's not as if it's like there's gated communities all over. Why not have a really nice community geared towards 100% the physically challenged or the mentally challenged? In this way, we can make people happy in life and fulfill their lives as much as we can. Because now I find, well, having disabled children and a disabled husband, and I won't talk about the person too much personally, but it causes, there's a lot of prejudice out there. I hate to say it, even though there's a lot of well-meaning people, but then again there's a lot of Nazi types that aren't very nice. And it can be your own family that has this attitude because this is how it was raised from the Dark Ages, and we understand that we're growing, and we have to make understanding. We do not want any endangerment to persons with disability, and a lot of them, I hate to say it, are being targeted. So a lot of them, a lot of us, because I'm disabled too, and I don't talk about it because it's not it wasn't acceptable to my family, and they neglected me because of it. I won't say any more about this because what has happened to me was beyond betrayal, and I needed to put it out there to tell people that this is what happened to me. Should anything else happen to me that was untowards and non-deserving, no one deserves to be hurt physically, emotionally, or any other way. And when you can protect persons and actually make their life better, like I had plans for Scooter Village, and that's why I started up Solaronics, because I knew it wasn't an easy way to get through to people about life and about what's necessary, what's really required. Hopefully people will understand, and I hope you do. There'll be more on this later, of course, but basically these are just my thoughts while walking, and I have so many ideas I have to put on paper, which I have put on paper, but basically are sitting there. I need some action, and probably marketing strategy in order to work the magic, so to say. Can you see Cartone? There's the magic right there. The escarpment. Looks like they're burning some more reeds on the beach. Smells like shore lunch. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you go. Have a nice day. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to me.